tea and my William Morris cup. Okay. Can you see that? Isn't it pretty? Now, I got this ages ago, but yes, this one's the single stem. There we go. So, hi, I'm Ellie, and this is the Leaf Yarns podcast. I'm coming to you from Exeter, which is in Devon, in England. I am the host of Leaf Yarns podcast. I'm the dyer behind Leaf Yarns Designs, and you can find me on Instagram as Leaf Yarns. You can find me on Facebook as Leaf Yarns Podcast, unless you're a personal friend, and then you know how to find me on there anyway. I have an Etsy shop called Leaf Yarns, and a bit of admin. I have closed leafyarns.com, my Shopify shop, but I will come to that in a few minutes. So, the weather here is up and down and up and down. We have had a storm today, we have had hot, we have had cold. It is currently sunny with little white fluffy blue clouds, but the pressure has yet to come back up. So I'm struggling with a migraine. I apologise. You can also see reflections. I've not got my big lights on today. I'm short on time, so I will put my glass up and you can see my face. No makeup, as I am. This is me today, I'm afraid. But you don't come here for the pretty face. You come here for the woolly stuff. So, right. Let's talk admin stuff first, announcements, etc. So, yes, I have made the decision to close my Shopify shop, which is leafyarns.com, because I'm not getting enough traffic to warrant the expense I pay each month for it. So I've just gone back to using my Etsy shop. There will be regular updates. There will be one tomorrow at 6 p.m. No, it has to be 5 p.m. tomorrow, I think, because I start my other job in the evening. Well, I start work anyway, my shift. So there will be mini skeins go up tomorrow and a few more project bags. For some reason last week they didn't show when I did the update, or the week before, so I think there must have been some sort of gremlin at work because I couldn't figure it out. But I've investigated it today and everything seems to be okay now. So there should be, I think, 8 project bags going in and about 100 mini skeins. Some are individual and some are as part of bundles. So that is shop talk. I thought I'd get that out of the way at the beginning. There are plenty of self-striping yarns, and there are a few semi-hot solids and a few speckles available. Now, podcast talk. The Cal, which is Leaf Yarns Cal 1, finishes on the 1st, which is on, let me just have a look, next Wednesday. So you've got 1 week left to do your knitting projects that use either my yarns, Leaf Yarns, or any of, my other yarns, pre-carnations, so to speak, or any of my patterns. There is a thread on Ravelry. If you're not a member of the group on Ravelry, please go and join. It's Leaf Yarns Podcast. And yeah, I hope you enjoy today's show. So, it's been busy these last couple of weeks. I have done a lot of creative stuff, but I've also been working a lot. And so, making time has sort of gone out the window because of everything else that happens in life. Although I did do this beautiful painting here. I think it's beautiful anyway. With some acrylics. So it's sort of a sunset in a moody sky with a purplish tree. Neve wanted to do some painting over the holidays. They've just had their Easter holiday break, and so we did a bit of abstract art with acrylics. I really like mine so much that I put it up in here. Neve's was very pretty in blues and things, so I'm feeling a bit woozy because I haven't got my glasses on. Okay, so in today's episode, put my tea down, I have got knitting, spinning, crochet, sewing and a little bit of cross stitch. So, knitting wise, I have not touched my Oxbow cardigan. It hasn't come out of the bag. It hasn't even appeared on my radar. It wasn't until I sat down to make show notes today and I was like, I haven't touched it. Not even touched the project bag. My bad. It's on my to-do list, because I have to-do lists for lots of things. It is on my to-do list of things to get finished soon, because I want to cast on another jumper and I can't justify casting on one when I've got so much else on the needles. So I have though been working on my No Frills sweater by Petite Knits, and that is living in this bag here. And I am now on my second ball of the Berger de France Angel in the Pavé colourway. And I have about a third left of the first skein of the Pretty Gritty. So I have made quite a lot of progress on this. Now I have to be careful because the sleeves are on holders, but this one keeps coming undone. So I will hold it up the right way so you can see. There we go. There, I can't show you how far down it goes. There we go. So I'm a good inch past where the arm's separated, and oh, it's so squishy and lovely and fluffy, and oh, I can't wait to wear it. Now I'll be wearing this with what I'm wearing today when it's finished, my sewn outfit. But yeah, so let's hold that a bit closer for you so you can see it, all the pretty colours. So it's greys and blacks, that's it in natural light, that's it in lamplight, and my little bat here. Now that bat does nothing for the pattern other than tell me that that is the front, and it's cute. So yeah, I am now at the part where it's just round and round and round she goes. Where she stops nobody knows. Now if you're English you know that nursery rhyme. It's a school playground game that we used to do when we were little, and you'd spin someone around sort of thing. But anyway, so this is now finally not thinking knitting. I have got, I say 10 inches of pure pleasure knitting, just relaxation knitting for this. So I'm knitting this on, let's find a needle size, and now 4mm. The neck was on a different size, and it's knitting up like an absolute dream. What else I want to say about it? I do enjoy the raglan parts on it, this detailing here. Once I got my head around it, at the top here it's a little bit off there, but I can live with that. It's only in that one side though, just that one bit where I was trying to get my head around the pattern. The other bits, they're all fine. Yeah, so yeah, I really do like this detail. It folds very easily. What else do I want to say? Nothing. I just love it, and it's going to go with so much of my wardrobe, you know, especially now that I'm rebuilding my wardrobe sort of thing. I wouldn't wear just pink, like the pink that's in here, this bright pops of pink, as a whole sweater or jumper or cardigan or shawl even, because it's too much. But I love the fact that I can wear pretty much any colour I like as long as it's as part of a speckle. And that's a relatively new discovery for me. I know, I'm slow to the game. But I can't wait to start wearing this. So I need to do a lot more and get this finished so that I can enjoy wearing it before it gets too hot, I think. Not that it really gets hot here in England. It can hit about 35. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Probably about, you know, high 90s. But I can see this being a very cosy warm jumper. So that is my main knitting that I have been doing in the last 2 weeks. I do have a couple of other projects though. Fear not, I have more knitting content. So put that back over there. The next thing I have been working on is my Opal Socks. Now, as you know, I had to wind it into a ball. I will show the label again. There you go. So it's opal, basically with silver effect, and that's the details. So this is part of the sweet and spicy, or this particular one is sweet and spicy, colour 1992, and yeah, I am on the ribbing of the first sock. Now last time I was, whatever it was, 6 or 8 rounds past the heel. Well, due to the fact that Abby and I both love this sock yarn, I have an itch in my arm, I'm sorry. I decided that I would make myself shorty socks. So they are a half leg for me. So I have got another 6 rounds of ribbing and that one's done. I was going to zoom through it so that it would be a hoe for the podcast, but I knew that if I did that, I would put it down and not cast on the second one. Now, it's not that I get second sock syndrome at all. It's just unless the second one's cast on, I don't push myself to cast on. So this means anyway that I can cast the second one on after I finish recording and start on that one. So aren't they pretty? So I did a short row heel, which has become my heel of choice, just because it's easy and I don't need to worry about picking up stitches or anything else, and it is very pretty. So yes, these are on 2.5mm carbons, as all my socks are, apart from one which I think I have on some zings, and it's leaving my stargate back. So my final knitting project is in my bag from the Knitting Goddess, which is I love a good fingering. Now I took this bag to work and the girls cracked right up and I was just like, it also means yarn, and they did not believe me. I was like, fingering weight is a knitting yarn. I couldn't persuade them. They didn't believe me. Muggles, you know. But my final knitting project this week, I have cast on Abby's Nonnatus socks. So this is my hand dyed, this is Leaf Yarns. This is one of the colourways. So this is Nonnatus House, so you've got the navy and the white, it's very deep navy and white represent the nuns, and the skyish blue and the rich burgundy colour are for the midwives. So I am caught up. There we go. Okay, so this is the toe plus a couple of rounds. I know it's not much, but isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. I love this. Abby doesn't know I've cast these on. They are a complete surprise. I want to get them done for her birthday, which is the end of May. But shh, don't tell her. She thinks that she's having to wait for her sparkly socks. She doesn't know about this one. So there we go. Shh, don't tell her. Yes, so that is Nonnatus House. And you'll see this a lot over the next few weeks. I love it. I love it. I'm actually jealous that I'm knitting her socks, not me socks. So what I might do, if there's enough left, there should be enough left, is to knit myself some shorty socks. Or some, what do you call them, jelly rolls or whatever. But we shall see. So those are also on 2.5mm needles. And I'm thoroughly enjoying knitting with my own yarn. It makes me feel good. So yes, so I'll pop that away. That is all my knitting. You'd think, you know, now I only record once every 2 weeks, I'd have loads, but no. The main reason is the job that I got. I wasn't expecting to have so many shifts and to be seen as a hard worker and therefore rewarded with more shifts. So it's a mixed blessing. It feels good, but at the same time it's very tiring. So yes, but I have done lots of crochet, and I've done some sewing, and I've done a tiny bit of spinning, so I will have a sip of tea and then get to it. I love clipper teas. So next up, I am going to talk to you about spinning, because I started a new spinning project today. I was looking at my spindles going, oh, I need to clear them all off, and I realised that actually I've got 5 with nothing on. So I started a new project with some fibre that I got for Christmas from Abby's parents. Now, I don't think they watch. I think Abby's sister watches occasionally, so hi. Now this was an extra bit that came with my Christmas fibre that I requested at Christmas. I have no idea what's in this blend, but I know there's no milk in it because I'm not reacting to it. So if I bring it a bit closer, you can see it's all these beautiful greens and blues and a bit of gold in there. And it's absolutely stunning. And it's spinning like a dream. It's spinning like butter. It's so soft and easy. I don't think I've ever spun something that drafted so easily. Now this is even more than loop bats, and that's saying something. Now if I remember, I will find who it was and put them in the show notes. If I don't, I plan to take a photo anyway to post on Instagram, because I can't do it justice on here, and I'll put where it came from. But this is on my Golding spindle, on my filigree one. I save this for treats. This is my heavier weight one, and I've only spun that much so far, but I'm deliberately spinning it thicker and looser so that I can make a beautiful DK weight to use as part of a colourwork jumper, because there is I think about 1.5 ounces here, maybe 1 ounce, but because of the variety of fibres that are in this, I think I'm going to get a lot of yardage for the weight. So we shall see. But that is temporarily living in this beautiful handmade pottery bowl that I bought one Sunday down on the quay at the craft fair. So that's my spinning. I have done some spinning. I was just desperate to start something. So, yes, I've got lots of other spinning projects on the go, but I didn't fancy doing any of those. It was like, that was calling to me, and it's been calling to me now for a few weeks. I gave in. So, crochet. Now, this week, all my crochet projects I have done using a 3mm needle, apart from Neve's blanket. Now, you can see Neve's blanket just there in the white basket. I have only added 4 squares to that, going upwards. So I will show you when I've finished that row next time, or even in a few rows time. It's very simple. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and have a look at last week's. So I have been doing more granny squares for my blanket, and they've all been done on this beautiful 3mm crochet hook that I got on Etsy. I've had this one for a couple of years, and I cannot find where I got this crochet hook from because it's under my old account. In a way, I regret closing my old account and opening a new one, because it meant that I lost all the details for all of my purchases. But hey, if you watch and you made this, let me know in the comments down below and I will link you. So I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 granny squares for my blanket. So I have used the rest of the ones from Margaret, so I'll show you those ones first. Now I have this much yarn left from the minis that Margaret sent me. Now I wasn't going to use this in my button bow blanket because it's not the right colours. I don't want any brown in it. But it's very pretty, so I shall use this for hexapuffs, because I've still got my hexapuff blanket in a bag down there. So that's 1 and 2 and 3. So those are out of Margaret yarn. That's what I'm calling it, Margaret. And then I managed to get quite a few of these Battenberg squares towards my new Battenberg blanket. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm missing one. 10 towards my Battenberg blanket. So there you go. I've got all those pretties to add. And I decided that I wasn't actually going to use the mauve that I was thinking about pairing with it. I'm using one that I bought after reading Stephanie Pearl McPhee for the first time many years ago. I found some hand-dyed sock yarn on eBay. Excuse me. So, I don't know the dyer. It just came in a plastic bag saying it was 75% wool, 25% nylon. That was it. There's no yarn label, nothing. So this is, if I bring it really close, because it's a nice daylight now, you can see the colours. This is the yarn that I have chosen to use as my contrast yarn. There you go. Unnatural, natural. So it won't go with all of them, but I'm quite happy for it to be the contrast that it is. So there we go. Aren't they pretty? Excuse the nails. I haven't had time to do a manicure this week. So these will be going along with all of these as my base colour, which is, you know, my happy colours in this room. Because this room's, you know, mauves and greys and light colours. So, and look, oh, I just seen, it matched my painting. That's fake, that is. So, those are that. And then I got round to starting with these, the Beatrix Potter yarns. Now again, I cannot track down who these are from. I'm sure that I talked about these in an older episode, but this is just a postcard that is Peter Rabbit. It's nothing to do with the actual company. So I don't know, please forgive me if this is your yarn and you're screaming at me going, I dyed that, I dyed. I'm so sorry. But I have this one, which is very pretty. And I have this much left of that one. And I will come to what I'm doing with these in a minute. And then I have this one. Ta-da! And I have this beauty. This is such delicate colours. It's very pretty. That's this one. So this is pinks and blues and greys. And then where it crosses over, there's a few muddier colours, but it just adds to it. It's very pretty. And then I have this one, which I love the lilac-y colour in this. They've got the lilac just right. It's not a sickly or dirty lilac. It's beautiful, paired next to the browns. And this is this. Now when I was hand winding this, I didn't realise how much lilac was in it. I thought it would just be a tiny bit. But that's perfect in my eyes. And then the final one is this one, which I think is Peter Rabbit. Correct me if I'm wrong, and you have this one as well. There you go, natural. So, this one, I only have a little bit left because I've had startitis again. And I only have this much left. Because I have started a scrappy blanket to use up the rest of my scraps. I realised that I don't want to make a long chain to hang things on. I want to just make all the blankets all the time at the moment, and keeping it in crochet means that when I've done my little squares in the mornings, I can carry on with this and just add whatever I have left to this project. So this, I'm doing a hexagon blanket. Now I've never crocheted a hexagon anything. So I'm doing it a bit like the Battenbergs. So it's solid, it's not a granny stitch, it's just trebles. So if you see, isn't that pretty? So this is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it's a nice blanket I can just wrap myself in. I'm not going to be mega fussy about the colours because all the colours I put in I like. I'm not bothered if they clash, if they don't, whatever. It'll just be whatever one I put in next. So I'm hoping that this will be big enough to wrap in and cross my legs and basically tuck up over myself and still have my arms out and be able to knit or whatever, or crochet. But we'll see. I have no deadline for this. This is going to be a long term. As I get more scraps, we'll go on to this. So yes, I have had lots and lots of fun crocheting in the last couple of weeks. Obviously I have done more on these blankets, and I have a feeling that I've got a few more squares somewhere, but I can't lay my hands on them right now. Oh, in fact, I've just seen them. I knew I'd put them somewhere safe. So, yes. Right. So, 2 more granny squares. And I have got quite a pile of Battenbergs as well. There we go. It's because I put them up here midweek and I was like, I'll put them somewhere safe right next to me. This one I'm absolutely in love with. It's so pretty. I wish that was coming true. That's not too bad. I have none of this yarn left because I've used it all. But it's not showing properly. And it's a really rich teal turquoise with pops of a rich green. It's so pretty. But anyway, that is all the crochet. So, I have just sewing and cross stitch left to talk to you about now. So, I will stand up in a second and show you from here, and then I'm going to insert a clip of me stood up back there that I recorded before I sat down to show you in more detail. Okay, so this is the dress, and I'll pause here and come back in a minute. Okay, so this is my dress. You can just about see the bottom here. I did the back pockets, and it's the dungaree dress. This is the Clio, and I put on the dungaree snaps, and I'm basically just standing up to show you how it sits on my shape and how comfortable it is, and I've been wearing this all day. So yes, it's crinkly. I'm going to go closer. And yeah. So I'll see you back in the video. Hello! Did you enjoy that little twirl? So yes, so the pattern is Tilling the Buttons Clio. And I did size 2, which is UK 8, US 4, European 36. Which is a 26-inch waist and 35-inch hips. Well, it's snug on my hips. My waist is bigger than it says in the pattern. Obviously there's ease. There's quite a bit of ease. My tummy is bigger. So much bigger that I was tempted to do another size and scale down, but I'm so glad I didn't, because otherwise it would have been too balloony. But I love it. So the dungaree buckles I used are Prim 30mm. I kept the box just to show you because I'm nice like that. I got mine on Amazon. You can get them on, you know, Tilling the Buttons or whatever. But I found that they're actually about £1.50 cheaper on Amazon, and that's even being on Prime. So, you know, I didn't have to spend extra. So that is this. Now, the cat fabric, I kept a little scrap to show you here, because I couldn't get close enough to the camera. Now, isn't that cute? It's so cute. I love it. Now, I have actually got enough left to do another project, which I'm so excited about. But before I move on to that, I am going to be making another tutorial, because I put one up earlier today. So I'm recording on Thursday the 25th of April. I put up my first inward seam tutorial on YouTube. It's only a couple of minutes long, but I hope that, you know, you get something out of it, or it helps. If it doesn't, it's just 2 minutes. If you do, brilliant. I'm glad I'm glad to have helped. So because I did a different seam on this one, I did an outward effective tidying seam. I am making another mini tutorial on how to do this version as well. It's very similar, but I think it's good to have it as a reference, just to have in your library. Yes, that's the only difference in seams. I did two sorts of seams on this one. I did the inwards and outwards. I'm not going to stand up and show you because that would mean lifting it up, and it's quite short enough as it is. But the one thing I did find was I had to put on the buckles before obviously I finished the sewing and everything else, and keep pinning them and standing in front of the mirror going, is that high enough? Is that high enough? Or is that too low? Or, whatever. And then having to unbuckle, don't know why I found that so hard to say, unbuckle myself out of the dress, shimmy it off, hoping the pin stayed in place so I could sew where I needed it to be. So for me, I have them quite short. The excess ends here, which is right on the top of my shoulders, because I'm short and I needed this to be decent on me because I'm short torsoed as well. But I love it. It's so comfy. I've been wearing it all day. Oh, I love it so much. So the fabric itself is a heavyweight cotton. It's, like I said before, it's kind of canvasy. It's got a slight amount of stretch in it. It's almost like a lightweight denim, but I don't know what it actually is. I bought it on Frumble Fabrics a while ago, probably at least a year ago now. It is Cocoa Land. I know that much. It is Cocoa Land. It says Cocoa Land, produced by Lisa or Lisa. I will show you the edge. Okay, that's as much as I know. It washes well, it irons beautifully. Hey, I have another item in my wardrobe. So I have spinning cloth and cat fluff all over me. So I'm going to give this a little wash and then iron it and put it away. Ready for next time what to wear it. But I was so excited because I didn't realise quite how much fabric I would have left after making this. It used so little fabric. It was an absolute bargain. So I am making the Lander Pant and Short pattern. I'm hoping I have enough for view B, which is, the front one is view C, which is the boot length. But the one I'm making is ankle length because I'm petite. So even ankle length for me will be boot length. And I probably need to take it up a bit more anyway. But I'm using the same fabric. I have got loads left. So I'm hoping I have enough to do these. If I don't, I will either do the shorts or I will use this to make some sort of blazer, I suspect. Because it's fun fabric, guys. I love it. And I don't mind being seen in public wearing cats. And music. And yeah, made me very happy. So that is what has been taking up my time this week. I haven't got round to doing the other Vogue pattern with the matte fabric. No promises, but once I finish with the Cocoa Land fabric, I will then move on to doing the matte fabric. I think I was just having second thoughts on whether or not I could wear a full length, beigey khaki dress with tiny little bats all over it. In my head it's pretty. As I imagine myself walking down the road, it's nice and it suits me. However, I have real anxiety issues about what I wear, so I'm more comfortable in just black, or just grey or whatever. Frog in my throat, excuse me. So, finally this week, I have done a little bit more on my Little Beach Hut Sleepy Fox cross stitch. Ta-da! So, now some of it's white, cream, so you won't really be able to see the stitches until it's got its detailing on, but I have done quite a bit more. There's lots of white here and then here and here, but yes, that's a Sleepy Fox. Isn't it cute? Not that you can really see yet what it is, it needs the back stitching put on it, but I was watching oh, what are they called? Legacy Knits podcast. And there's so many cross stitch projects and stitching projects, and I was like, oh, yes. So I sat down and carried on with mine, because I really want to get this finished. It's so simple. There's no reason why I can't do this quite quickly, other than time, you know, lack of time right now. But I'm sure I will get into a routine and figure out, you know, what the best time of day is for me to be doing various things, like doing the crochet, you know, before anyone else up in the mornings. Right, that is it, my lovelies. Yeah, I hope to record again on Wednesday next time, so hopefully it'll be the 9th of May, and then I will close the thread for the Cal, for the Leaf Yarns Cal 1, at as near to midnight as I can on the 1st of May. If I fall asleep before midnight, I will just lock it as soon as I wake up in the morning, about 5:30, on the 2nd. So the next time I record will be the 9th, and I will announce 3 winners then. So there will be a skein of yarn and 2 patterns. So if you want a chance of winning one of those, better pop on and enter in the thread. So I will love you and leave you. I hope that life is treating you well, and if it's not, look after yourself. Look after yourself anyway, you know. It is nice here finally. Spring has sprung. Yeah, so I'll see you on the upside. And please go and have a look in the Etsy shop on Leaf Yarns. Thanks everyone. Bye.